The views and opinions expressed on this program do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of 580 WCHS, its employees, or WVRC Media. From the studios of WVRC Media, the country, the United States of America, the state, West Virginia, the city, Charleston. This is the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live. And your host.
What we've got here is failure to communicate.
He's kind of a big deal.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
Dave Allen.
Hey, folks, a good Tuesday morning to you, and welcome to the show. The A-Train, Anthony Hartman, is our producer today. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor, text 304-935-5008. We're in the Jarrett Construction Studios, right on time, right on budget. Visit jarrett-construction.com. Phone calls to the show. A service of Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly, Spring Street, Charleston. Texting service provided by West Virginia's finest men's store, Tony the Taylor, on Virginia Street in Charleston. Tony's winter hours, Mondays 11 to 3, Tuesday through Friday 10:30 to 5:30, Saturdays by appointment only. For more, visit bestmastertaylor.com or check out Tony's Facebook page. Welcome to the show, Tuesday edition. Man, the fog out there this morning. Very, very foggy indeed this morning. A few accidents were reported because of the fog. That's burning away, though, and sunny and 75. We're going to keep saying it. Well, it's actually true in the capital city. Coming up on the show, the world, of course, is mourning the loss of Jesse Jackson. Former Charleston Mayor Danny Jones knew him well, and he's going to join us a little bit later on the show to talk about the late Reverend Jackson. Also, the high school sports world is mourning this morning, too, with the loss of the great Capitol High football coach Roger Jefferson. We're going to talk about that with the voice of high school sports in West Virginia, Fred Persinger. There is an outdoor economic summit coming to the area. We're going to talk to some of the folks from the Charleston Area Alliance and others about that. Plus, your calls and texts are always welcome. Bigly, Piggly, Wiggly, hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor, text 304-935-500. I want to welcome to the show now our good friend Dr. Casey Sachs of BridgeValley Community and Technical College. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Good morning, Dave. Great to be with you today.
Great to have you here. We've had you on twice a month for the last few years, I guess, to talk about all the good things going on at BridgeValley, but a little sad news this morning. Good news for you, sad news for us. You're going to be leaving your post at BridgeValley.
Hopefully good news for America. I'm going to the U.S. Department of Education.
All right, so you're going to be leaving BridgeValley, but as you said, I couldn't have said it any better myself. Good news for America, because you're going corporate. You're going federal, I should say, not corporate. You're going federal. When did you come to BridgeValley?
So I've come to West Virginia twice to work in higher education. The first time was in 2016, where I was with the West Virginia Higher Education Policy Commission. And then I came back, and they hired me at BridgeValley as the president in 21.
Okay. And what's you've done so many great things, you and your entire administration at BridgeValley. What's the one or two things that you're probably most proud of?
So I'm really proud of our nursing program. We have the best community college nursing program in the state. Our faculty are absolutely incredible. Our NCLEX pass rates are some of the highest that you see, even when you compare us to four-year colleges. We've got amazing business partnerships with both CAMC and WVU Thomas Hospital through that program. I'm really proud of the nursing program. I think the other is the Wynn Academy. It is such an incredible opportunity for high school students to earn an associate's degree while they're still in high school. There's nothing else like it in West Virginia, and it is really special, and it's something that would be worth replicating across the state.
Well, we're going to talk about the Wynn Academy coming up here momentarily. Then I'll just say one thing about you. You've been an absolute pleasure to work with. I mean, you're so great at what you do. You're a natural on the radio, and the area was certainly better. In the school, the academic institution of BridgeValley was certainly better for having you be a part of it.
That's such high praise. Thank you very much, Dave. I really appreciate it.
And talk quickly about this new role, what you're going to be doing. Then we'll move on to business.
I'll be the Chief Financial Officer at the Department of Education. So it's really a large operational role. Even with some of the layoffs that have happened, we still have 2,000 employees at the U.S. Department of Education. And so my portfolio will include things like finance, obviously, but facilities and IT and human resources and some of the really important functions that just help an organization that's that big do its job.
So when is your last day at BridgeValley going to be?
March 2nd.
Okay. All right. Well, it's been a pleasure, as I said, having you on the show a couple times a month, and getting to know you and to call you a friend and all that mushy stuff you're supposed to say. So we'll move on. How's that?
Well, I appreciate you too, Dave. Thank you very much. It's been such a pleasure.
Let's talk about the Wynn Academy, which you just did. You have you've had some open houses. You get another one coming up. Tomorrow night, I think.
We do. Our next open house is tomorrow night at 5:30. It's in Building 2000 in the atrium, and it should be. Our open houses are actually really fun. We have a lot of current students who give tours and who talk to families about what their experience has been like. If you're a high school student and you think, "Gosh, I'm really ready to get started with my career and to really take classes that apply to what it is that I want to do with my life," this is a great place for you. And if you're an adult who thinks, "Gosh, I have a high school student in my life," and they might engage more with school if they really cared about it and felt like it was meaningful and could help them get a job, this is the right place for your high school student. We would just love to have you, and you should come to the open house tomorrow night at 5:30.
And you're having this one tomorrow night. When are the others?
So we have several open houses coming up that are for the college in general. Even if you're an adult, and I was just talking to our student government president. She's a little bit older than I am. She's had a career already. She's come back to school to be a nurse. And when we were chatting, she said, when I came back to school, I was a little worried because you think about college students as being right out of high school. And it's really important to remind everybody who's listening that our average student is 30 years old. And most of those 30-year-olds, they've already had a job. They've already had sometimes a career. They've had children. They've had marriages. They've had divorces. They've had life happen to them.
Yep.
And so even if you're a person who's older than I am and you think, "Gosh, I want to go back to school," come back. March 31st, April 7th, April 9th, we have open houses all those days. You're also just welcome to come in. We would love to have you. But sometimes open houses feel a little bit easier for people or more accessible, not like you're just navigating it alone. You've got 50 of your friends who are also coming to check it out.
Are you good with me reading a text for you that was sent? It's a question about BridgeValley.
Sure.
All right.
Ask away.
For Dr. Sachs, West Virginia seems to always follow other states' blueprints. What's one successful project that you've had at BridgeValley that you would propose as a model to the Department of Education?
So actually, I was speaking at a national conference, an international conference recently about some of the cool things that we do at BridgeValley. And one thing that the Department of Education has been interested in, and that I actually got invited to the White House to speak about, is how we do shared services here. That other states and other especially small colleges and rural communities are trying to figure out, how do we share resources? And it's something that we've done incredibly well at BridgeValley. We share a financial aid director with 2 other schools. We share a chief information officer, an IT lead with another school. We're sharing a cybersecurity specialist with all of the other community colleges. And so we're really trying to find ways. Every time we have a vacancy, the presidents call each other and say, "Do you have somebody who could take on another school?" before we try and just fill that role. And the efficiency that comes with that and the really intentionality of the community colleges working together is a national model and really worth replicating in many other places.
Talk with Dr. Casey Sachs of BridgeValley, the Dave Allen Show on 580 Live, brought to you in part by Pinnacle Consultants. When environmental questions come up in a building, Pinnacle provides clear answers. They specialize in asbestos, lead, mold, and indoor air quality with accredited lab testing based right here in West Virginia. You can learn more at pinnaclecorp.net, helping you understand your environment, because what you don't know can hurt you. One of the big buzzwords in the world of higher education for the last couple of years, Dr. Sachs, has been cybersecurity. Mm-hmm. BridgeValley just picked up a big grant for the cybersecurity program, right?
We did. Our chief information officer, our CIO, recently received a $53,000 grant. It's a state grant, and it's through an organization called CISA. They give out dollars to the state, and then the state decides what state agencies are in need. And so we had written it, almost a year ago. So sometimes these things take a while, but they're really worth doing. It means we'll be able to we use a few different software platforms to help make sure traffic that comes in is safe. We use a few different tools to make sure we have multiple redundancies. So something that's important is you want a backup in more than one place, just in case something heaven forbid, but in case something happens. So it's really coming up with what are our strategies around cybersecurity, and then how do you implement them? And our college is unique that we actually have a 5-year strategic plan specifically around cybersecurity to think through what are our needs going to be over the next several years. And our board has been really proactive in thinking about how do we go after funds that are going to support those projects, because we just really recognize that it'll only increase in importance.
You told me you had a video project you were working on. Talk about that.
Oh, yeah. So hopefully you saw it. I know I sent it to you, Dave.
I did, but I want you to explain it to everybody.
Okay, so there is a group called Stand Together that reached out to us, about 6 months ago, and said, we are really interested in making a video to help amplify the good work that's happening at the Wynn Academy. So do you have a student who would be interested in being featured in the video, and we wanted to help tell your story? So they sent us out a whole videography team. They followed one of our students. They followed Caden in the morning while he got ready for work, and then went to the hospital to go to work. And it turned out really great. Please check out the BridgeValley Facebook page. It's posted there. It's posted on LinkedIn. It's on several social platforms now. There's a YouTube channel, but I don't have that one memorized. But the video essentially follows Caden and just talks about how incredible his journey has been, and that he's going to the Wynn Academy, or that he went to the Wynn Academy and he graduated, and now he works at WVU Medicine Thomas Hospital. And we're just so proud of him and so proud of what he represents, but so proud of all of our students who are able to accomplish exactly the same thing. While he's special, they're all special, and every single one of our students is capable of doing this and capable of getting a really great job in the community.
As I said, Dr. Sachs, bittersweet you leaving, but I know you're going to do great things in your new role. We wish you the best. It's been a pleasure to get to know you and talk about all the good things at BridgeValley. And I'm sure that our relationship here at the station with BridgeValley will continue. So we wish you the best in your future endeavors. And don't forget about us, okay?
I never could. Thank you so much, Dave. It's such a pleasure.
All right. Dr. Casey Sachs of BridgeValley, who will be leaving BridgeValley again around the 1st of March. The state's premier outdoor sports show is back and bigger than better than ever. 24th annual West Virginia Fishing, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Show presented by Can-Am returns to Milan Park in Morgantown Saturday and Sunday, March 7th and 8th. Over 100,000 square feet of everything outdoors and over 200 vendors, all in one spot. Complete details at WVOutdoorSportsShow.com, a WVRC media event. The world continues to mourn Jesse Jackson. Former Charleston Mayor Danny Jones is going to join us to talk about his relationship with Jesse Jackson coming up a little bit later on in the show. Also, here in the Kanawha Valley, the world of sports lost a true legend with the passing of Roger Jefferson. We are going to speak with some folks from our building that knew Coach Jefferson very well. Fred Persinger and Dale Cooper, who actually played for Coach Jefferson. That's coming up a little bit later on. We'll take a break and come back after this on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses have been creating jobs in West Virginia since 1997.
He's Donald Trump's #1 enemy in Congress, Chicago politician Dick Durbin. Now, Durbin has a new scheme. He's doing the dirty work to benefit corporate megastores. Durbin's bill could cut corners on your credit card security, putting your personal data at risk. Big chain retailers and warehouse stores want to inflate their profits, and liberal Dick Durbin would help them do it. Tell senators, say no to the megastores and Dick Durbin. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
I'm Doug Leach, founder and CEO of Ascension Recovery Services. We've done a number of projects with Jarrett Construction. Finding people that really care about what they do and care about what we do is pretty unique. In Jarrett Construction, they care. They're really, really good people. Good people do the right thing, and they're very skilled. They have all the qualities that make up just a perfect construction partner, and they just built us a phenomenal building.
Right on time, right on budget. Call on Jarrett Construction.
What if the market drops after you retire? What if healthcare costs continue to rise? What if you outlive your savings? If these questions keep you up at night, you're not alone. And you don't have to figure it out alone. I'm John Burdett with 4th Avenue Financial, and I specialize in retirement income planning. Let's turn your what-ifs into a plan you can count on. Schedule your free consultation today at 4thAvenueFinancial.com. 4th Avenue Financial, retirement done right.
Securities offered through Jenny McCole Financial Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Jenny McCole Advisors Incorporated.
Welcome back to the show. It is 9:22. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by your hometown baseball team, the Charleston Dirty Birds. It may be wintertime now, but we're already thinking baseball at Gomart Ballpark. Now would be a good time to secure your season tickets, merchandise, and more. DirtyBirdsBaseball.com. Biggly, Piggly, Wiggly hotline 304-345-5858. Tony the Taylor text 304-935-500H. Danny Jones is going to join us a little bit later on to talk about the legacy of Jesse Jackson, who passed away during the overnight hours last night. He knew Jesse Jackson, so he's going to join us. Also, Fred Persinger and Dale Cooper will join us to talk about another passing, Roger Jefferson, longtime Capitol High football coach who has passed away as well. We got a whole studio full of people here and with us right now. We got Mara Boggs and Susie Salisbury from the Charleston Area Alliance. Thank you both for being here today.
Good morning.
You guys did that great. Think you could do that again?
Good morning.
Oh, that's nice. I'll record that. That'll be my greeting every morning. Also, we had Danny Twilley with us. Danny, here's your title. Assistant Vice President, Economic and Community Development of the Brad and Elise Smith Outdoor Economic Development Collaborative.
That's a mouthful.
Is that on a business card or you just carry around poster paper with you?
Poster paper.
We appreciate you being here today as well. Now, there is going to be, and I'll let you guys just kind of jump in here, there is going to be an outdoor economic summit held. Talk about it, and then we'll break it down specifically.
Yeah, so starting this evening all the way through Thursday, we're hosting the first annual West Virginia Outdoor Economy Summit, where we're bringing anywhere from tourism, economic development, nonprofit leaders, land managers, all those who care and love the great outdoors of West Virginia. We're bringing them all together here for the next few days to kind of celebrate, elevate, and collaborate.
That's a lot of aiding there. I like the alliteration there. Yeah. So what's your guys' role in this with the CVB and the Alliance and so on and so forth?
Sure. Well, we were just so excited about this summit. It really shows off the best of West Virginia because we're taking the outdoor economy and finding new opportunities for the state and existing opportunities. And so the Alliance collaborated with Danny and OEDC to help put this on. I mean, it's his show, but we're just really proud to be a part of it, especially with Susie's work in the Upper Kanawha Valley. We thought this would be a great thing to highlight at the beginning of a week before the summit, and we're thankful you had us on today.
And I mean, the whole world of the outdoors. I mean, West Virginia is an outdoor state. I mean, we people come from all over America, but a lot of times West Virginians, we forget what we have in our own backyard, no pun intended. And I'm not hoping that this is something that'll come out of this summit today. As people here will realize what we have here.
Yeah, I think that's one of the most important things, right? We know that our outdoors attracts people from, around the country and around the world, right? Secretary Ruby has done a great job, over $9 billion in tourism spending, but we also need to make sure that our citizens can make sure that they have access to the great outdoors and recognize it is one of the critical components for our history. And it integrates into our quality of life that we have here in West Virginia. And as you said, sometimes because it's so close to us and we're so used to it, we sometimes forget how special it is. But it is truly some of the best outdoor recreation in the country. We have some of the highest density of basically whitewater rivers in the entire country, out more than North Carolina, more than Pacific Northwest. From a mid-Atlantic, East Coast climbing standpoint, we have some of the highest concentration, some of the best rock climbing in the entire East Coast and the country we can compete in. We have some great access to trails, from our rail trails to our water trails to our mountain bike trails to some of our scenic overlooks. So we really do. And let's not forget about the Hatfield-McCoy and what they've done and the great work that they've done down there, and particularly in the southern part of the state. And then you throw in our wonderful rivers for fishing. We really do have it all right here in West Virginia.
Now, who are you hoping, or who's going to be coming to this summit that's at the Coliseum?
Yeah, like I said, we'll have people from various CVBs. We'll have economic development professionals. We'll have land managers. We'll have other nonprofit leaders. It is a really incredible mix of people. And I think I can say here is I'm so excited that we have sold out the first conference with over 350 people coming in to attend.
And that's what makes people at groups like yours happy is when he said people coming in.
Right. And really it's turning those challenges into opportunities. What we did with Ascend and the OEDC and Danny, the city and county are great partners in this, but it's attracting people to our outdoor space. Appalachian Outlaw Trail. Susie has done a ton of work in the Upper Kanawha Valley. Just wanted to mention them too. I think they'll be there, right?
They will, and they're a sponsor as well.
And you mentioned the Ascend program. You're with the Ascend program as well, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Talk about that. Explain for those, because it's kind of been, it was in the news really big. I haven't heard a lot about it in a while. So explain how that's going and what exactly it is.
Yeah. So one of the things that we recognize is that population loss and brain drain is one of the biggest challenges facing West Virginia. And so we, with the support of WVU and Brad and Elise Smith through the Wing to Wing Foundation and the state of West Virginia, we all came together, and particularly here in Charleston with the Charleston Area Alliance and so many of our great partners came together and said, how do we take a challenge and turn it into an opportunity? So what we do is we utilize community, purpose, and the outdoors. So we look for people who want to be part of a community and build community. We want people who want to come here and help make us better. And then we utilize the outdoors to attract people here and then retain people here through a program called First Descent, which is helping keep our graduating students from WVU and Marshall in the state of West Virginia when they graduate. And in doing so, it can help reverse that population loss and that brain drain. And so the program is just, we've had over 78,000 applications for the program.
78,000. 78,000. I just want to make sure everybody took that in. 78,000.
More than the population of Charleston.
Yeah. More, 78,000 people have said, this is where I want to be.
And we got some big announcements coming up soon for the Charleston area too. With Ascend.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
When can we expect those announcements? You don't have to tell us now, but can we?
In the coming weeks.
The coming weeks.
In the coming weeks.
All right. So let's get back to the summit again. Go over the hours, the times.
Yeah. So we'll be kicking off tonight around 6:00 for just a kind of award ceremony and welcome. Tomorrow morning at 8:30 we'll be kicking off, and it'll go all the way through 5. We'll have a great celebration at the Capitol Market tomorrow, and then with our partners, the Nature Conservancy, we're doing a day at the Capitol on Thursday as well. And I'd be remiss if I didn't just say to every single one of our sponsors, thanks for believing in us, thanks for investing in us, and thanks for your support.
And again, I did understand that you guys are going to be at the Capitol, as you just said, so that'll be exciting because you get the legislature in town. You get to educate them just like you're educating the listeners today about the great things going on here. Is there a spot online, website, social media that you guys that people can learn more about this?
Yeah, West Virginia Outdoor Economy Summit. Just take a look. Type it into Google, and it will pop right up. It should be the very first one. The team's worked really hard to make sure that it shows up first.
And while we've got you two here, Mara and Susie, what's going on with the Alliance these days? Anything that you want to push besides this?
First of all, Ascend. That's a big project. Our Lift Center is under construction. We just picked the colors for the metal skin and roof on Friday. Susie's got a lot going on in the outdoor economy. Wrapping up an ARC grant right now.
We are doing a lot of planning in the Upper Kanawha Valley, trails, riverfront development, business development. It's been pretty exciting, and we're hoping to pull together like a progress report at the end of this. So I'd be happy to come back on and talk
Absolutely.
about that.
You're always welcome. I mean, we talked to you a lot about window decorating and stuff during Christmas.
And then Downtown Open's going to kick off again.
And when does that kick off? When is that?
We're going to open up registration within probably the next week.
Okay. All right. And I think with the winter that we've had, I think everybody is thinking about outdoors right now. Outdoors that does not involving risking your life walking to your mailbox. Right. I think everybody wants to get outdoors. So, guys, I appreciate everybody being here. Danny Twilley, again, Assistant Vice President for Economic and Community Development of the Brad and Elise Smith Outdoor Economic Development Collaborative. and Susie Salisbury and Mara Box. You guys are going to have to get long titles like that. Appreciate everybody for being here. Hang out with me here just 1 second. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Morgan & Morgan. If you're injured, hire Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm. The world of sports here in the Kanawha Valley lost a true legend with the passing of Roger Jefferson, longtime Capitol High football coach. Fred Persinger, who called a lot of games, who knew Roger very well. Coach Jefferson is going to join us a little bit later on, as will Dale Cooper, who actually played for Roger Jefferson. They're both going to join us a little bit later on. And, of course, we're also talking about the passing of the Reverend Dr. Jesse Jackson. Danny Jones is here to talk about that when we come back on the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Brought to you by the Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses. Eric J. Tarr Family Businesses are small businesses with big impact, including Generations Physical Therapy and Snap Fitness.
Dave Allen here for Generations Ford of Hurricane. The temperatures are warming up, and so are the deals on used vehicles at Generations Ford. Right now, we have our used inventory priced to move with great deals. Shop and compare any used vehicle on our lot today at generationsford.com. Need service? Get ready for spring with our Works package and ask about our pickup and delivery service. Visit us today off the Hurricane exit.
One destination for every generation. Generations Ford.
You know us as Polka Valley. The name may be simpler, but our commitment is stronger than ever. At Polka Valley, our role in the community goes beyond banking. Yes, we deliver the trusted banking services you expect, but we also bring expertise in wealth management, financial planning, and accounting and bookkeeping services. Whether you're planning for tomorrow or managing today, you'll find the guidance and relationships you need to move forward. With 8 convenient locations, Polka Valley is here to help you thrive. Polka Valley, relationships matter. Member FDIC.
You've worked hard. You've saved. Now it's time to make your money work for you without second-guessing every decision. I'm John Burdett with 4th Avenue Financial, and I help people retire with confidence and clarity. We'll create a personalized plan that fits your lifestyle, your goals, and your legacy. Retirement should feel like freedom, not fear. Visit 4thavenuefinancial.com. Let's get started today. 4th Avenue Financial, retirement done right.
Securities offered through Jenny McCole Financial Incorporated, member FINRA SIPC. Advisory services offered through Jenny McCole Advisors Incorporated.
The latest in news, talk, and sports when 580 WCHS is brought to you by Jarrett Construction. Call 304-344-9140 for more information.
Right on time, right on budget. Call on Jarrett Construction.
It takes water cooler talk to the next level with a mixture of pop culture, sports, and entertainment. It's Metro News Hotline with Dave Weekley. Monday through Friday afternoons at 3 on the Voice of Charleston, 580 WCHS.
Welcome back to the show. 26 minutes away from 10. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Husson's Pizza. All month long, get yourself a 14-inch one-topping heart-shaped pizza, only $14.99. Delivery, pickup, or dine-in. Visit HussonsPizza.com. Coming up a little bit later on the show, Fred Persinger and Dale Cooper are going to join us to talk about the passage of Roger Jefferson, longtime Capitol High football coach. I want to welcome back to the show, second straight day he's with us, former Charleston mayor and a bunch of other things. Danny Jones, how you doing, my friend?
Well, good. It's always nice to be on the show and be able to hear my voice through the headphones.
It's always nice for you to hear your own voice. Yeah. That's what I always say. Yeah. That's what I tell people about having guests on the show. I said, I'm good without guests because I'm enamored by the sound of my own voice.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right. News broke overnight about the passing of Jesse Jackson, the Reverend Dr. Jesse Jackson. We're going to spend some time talking about it on Metro News Midday today with 2 different guests. I'll tell you about that a little bit later on. One of the first things I saw, I got up this morning, Danny, and I turned on the television and I saw where it was coming across the screen, and then got my phone, went to social media, and the first thing, because phones know what you're thinking. The first thing I saw was a picture of you that you posted of you and late Jesse Jackson.
That was 2004.
Okay.
I've been mayor a year. That was during the regatta. And somebody asked me if I would squire him around. Mm-hmm. It may have been the trade unions. I can't remember who it was. Mm-hmm. That's who sponsored his trip here. Mm-hmm. And
were you mayor at that time?
Yes.
Okay, you were mayor. Okay, go ahead.
And I've been mayor about a year, and we hung together with him and his group, and I could tell you a few stories. You know, what do they call those things you get? Elephant ears?
Yeah.
He ate 2 of them.
Really?
And his people.
The pastries, yeah.
His people around him pulled at me and said, "Get him away from me."
Everybody's got to have handlers.
Well, they were trying to get him not to eat so much.
Right.
And I think he didn't want to eat so much.
Yeah.
But
it turned
they
out
were so
a good pastry.
But he walked through the crowd, and we walked down through the down the road down to where the Schoenbaum stage is now. We walked down that road, and there was some real big, heavy guy that was laying. It looked like he was laying drunk, and he was laying down. And he had his arm hanging over the steps and everything. And Jesse got the biggest kick out of that. You know, he laughed.
But not enough to offer him one of his elephant ears, right?
No.
Yeah.
But he watched the fireworks. Now, the one thing you need to realize about Jesse Jackson is you can ask him about your family, about his family. He's not going to ask you about yours. I mean, well, Jesse's for Jesse. He talked about himself. He drew a lot of attention, and a lot of people thought it was kind of neat to see him and just walking around saying hello, despite all the stories about what he did when he was young as a waiter. Nobody's going to tell me he didn't like white people, because the next day he was with all those union folks. And they were going to a rally. He was trying to get me to come, and I wouldn't.
Right.
I wouldn't come.
Was he a pretty nice guy, though?
Oh, very much.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
very much.
I'm glad to hear that, because they always say, you know, that every and here's the thing, and I've met a lot of celebrities in my time, as have you. Sometimes people say, well, this guy or this person, they were a terrible person. They were rude, whatever. You got to remember that when you encounter people, you only see them on one day.
Yeah.
And you don't know what's going on in their personal life or their business or their family or whatever that maybe has them in a foul mood. But the majority of the VIPs that I've met over the years, political athletes, singers, actors, whatever, the majority of them have been pretty cool people. And I talked to some people that knew Reverend Jackson. Not like they were best friends or anything, but they all said he was just a pretty nice guy behind the scenes.
You never met Paul Anka?
No, I've never met Paul Anka.
I'm glad I didn't. He played up at Waterford, up at Chester, and he was nice to the crowd, but to the people that worked there, he was completely nasty.
There are a lot of stories like that. There are a lot of stories like that.
In 88, when I was sheriff, Reverend Jackson was running for president. And they gave him double Secret Service protection.
Now, he ran twice. He ran at 88 and 84 and 88. Okay, go ahead.
And he was up at the airport. And he had double Secret Service protection. Cost $40,000 a day. Michael Dukakis turned down protection. He didn't have any. So when he came here, he got us. State police didn't want him. City didn't have the jurisdiction. So he got the sheriff's department. So one day on my Facebook, if I outlive him, I've got pictures I'll put of myself and Governor Michael Dukakis. Because we were with him, and he actually went down in the coal mines.
I remember that.
Yeah. So, Reverend Jackson was a really nice guy, and he liked people. And Willie Nelson was there.
I remember. I wasn't in Charleston, but I do remember this now.
Yeah, two things I remember about him.
Willie?
Yeah,
Okay.
just listen to him talk. I didn't talk to him. He likes ethanol, and he hates Republicans.
He's very liberal. Willie's very liberal. Yeah. I'm going to tell some stories a little bit later today, Danny, on Metro News Midday. When Jesse Jackson was campaigning for president, he came for a rally in Logan, and I was in junior high then. That's how you know you're old when you call it junior high, not middle school. I was in at Logan East Junior High in 1984 when he was running for president in the primary, and he came to Logan. He spent the night in Logan, and at a place called Mud Fork. And I'm going to tell the story later today on Metro News Midday, how monumental that was for Jesse Jackson to spend the night in Mud Fork. I don't want to spoil it, but on the show later today, we're going to have on Metro News Midday, we're going to talk to Matthew Watts about his memories of Jesse Jackson. But I'm also going to talk to, and he's a frequent guest of the show, Burke Allen, who is the guy that got me into all, the radio business, whatever. Burke's on the show from time to time. Burke was a high school reporter for the Here's How Logan High newspaper. It was called it's called Here's How. And he got an interview with Jesse Jackson. He was a junior in high school, and he got a sit-down one-on-one interview with Jesse Jackson, which was picked up by the New York Times.
I can see him doing that.
Yeah.
And I can see him, some young person walking up to him with a pen and pad in their hand.
Recorder, yeah.
Or just a pen and pad. Yeah. Do you mind if I ask you some questions? I bet he'd sit right down.
He did. He actually chose, and Burke will tell the story, he actually chose Burke over a lot of other people that wanted interviews because he thought he liked the neatness of that, of just talking to I guess, would have been a high school junior at the time.
When he was involved with Dr. King, and he was on the stoop at the Lorraine Motel when Dr. King was shot in the neck. And he and, I don't know, Abernathy and maybe it was Andrew Young, I don't know who it was, and they were pointing at where it came from.
I've seen that picture.
Yeah.
Very iconic picture.
They were pointing at where it came from. And he was considered, I read everything I could get my hands on then. And when I was in the service, that's all I did. And he was considered a little bit of a lightweight. He ran for mayor against Mayor Daley in Chicago, and that didn't go over very well. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, he just started surging. And I think it really manifested itself when he ran for president in 1984. I think that's when things really kicked in for him.
He had a lot of health issues, and it was a neurological disease is, I guess, what the official cause of death is going to be. He's been out of the public eye for some time, and I know his offspring and his people in his organization continuing to do a lot of his work and stuff. But he was just, I guess, my memories as a younger person, well, relatively speaking, of Jesse Jackson was, it seemed like at one point, whenever there was a hot button, and I'm just being truthful here, Danny, when there was a hot button, issue pertaining to race that we would see, not always together, but you'd see Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton there. Al Sharpton continues to do some of that, although with his health issues and his age, not as much as he used to. But Jesse was always there. I just remember Jesse Jackson being on television a whole lot when I was a kid growing up in the 70s and 80s.
I don't watch MSNBC too much, so I don't. I think Sharpton still got a show there.
I think he does, yeah.
He came here when there was allegedly a rape down in Mingo County or somewhere, and of this young black girl who the prosecutor down there told me if they hadn't pled guilty, I had no case. But he got him to plead guilty. He had no case. And Malik Shabazz came here. You know who he is.
Yeah.
Oh, he trashed me big time.
What did he say?
I can't remember.
Okay.
Jerry, at one time, Jerry had it posted on Facebook. It was, but he really trashed me. And he didn't have any reason to, because the first thing, it wasn't in this county.
Right.
And I didn't know anything about it. And then then Sharpton came down And he spoke over at First Baptist and to rally for the young lady. And he gave them some money. And her mother took the money and bought dope with it. And the girl called back to my office a few months later wanting us to do something for her. And we couldn't help her. And but Malik Shabazz, Malik Zulu Shabazz, I remember when he ran for city council and he got beat by a white, gay Republican, all of which he hates. You know, he's anti all three of those. And, but he spent a lot of time strutting around here, and he did it in this studio. Hoppy was he and Hoppy got into arguments. So,
what do you think the overall legacy of Jesse Jackson will be? Because, as I said, he's been out of the public eye for some time because of his health issues. But what do you think the legacy of Jesse Jackson will be, Danny?
I think it'll be a blend of SCLC, trying to get people in movie theaters in the South when they couldn't get in. And there's actually a video of him trying to buy movie tickets in a movie theater for a whole line of black folks, and they wouldn't let him in. He was just sitting there talking to the guy. Why? Why won't you? We have money here. Our money's good. We'd like to see the movie. I think that obviously it'd be in civil rights and Operation Push, which probably did more in the neighborhood in Chicago than it did anywhere else. And Chicago needs help. And I think that would be the legacy.
Danny, it's always a pleasure to have you on the show. 2 days in a row. We'll talk to you next Monday. How's that?
What a deal. Thank you.
Danny Jones, 12 minutes away from 10. The Dave Allen Show on 580 Live is brought to you in part by Generations Ford of Hurricane. Great deals going on now with their selection of used vehicles. Shop and compare any used vehicle at Generations, generationsford.com. And if you need service, ask about their works package and their pickup and delivery service, too. Check them out today just off the Hurricane exit of I-64. One destination for every generation, Generations Ford. See dealer for details. The world of sports in the Kanawha Valley lost a true icon with the passing of former Capitol coach Roger Jefferson. We're going to talk to Fred Persinger, and we will talk to Dale Cooper about Coach Jefferson when we come back. On the Voice of Charleston, WCHS.
Are you a physical therapy assistant and looking for an opportunity in orthopedics, wellness, and athletic care? If so, Generations Physical Therapy is offering flexible work hours and an upbeat atmosphere. With 7 convenient locations, Generations may have a job designed for you. Visit generationspt.com.
He's Donald Trump's #1 enemy in Congress, Chicago politician Dick Durbin. Now, Durbin has a new scheme. He's doing the dirty work to benefit corporate megastores. Durbin's bill could cut corners on your credit card security, putting your personal data at risk. Big chain retailers and warehouse stores want to inflate their profits, and liberal Dick Durbin would help them do it. Tell senators, say no to the megastores and Dick Durbin. Paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Why does it matter to members that Aetna was named a Best Medicare Advantage company by U.S. News & World Report? Because they chose a plan that gives them real support, real people, and real care. We show up with care management that ensures doctors work together on complicated conditions. We show up with the latest in online tools to make healthcare easier to use anytime. We don't show up for awards. We show up for you. And showing up for you is how healthier happens together.
Winter has a way of showing us what our home really needs, and finding out the hard way is not very fun. With a home improvement loan from Members Choice, West Virginia Federal Credit Union, you can tackle winter upgrades fast. From repairing a heat pump to installing a generator to making other cold weather improvements, MCWV FCU makes it easy with fast processing times and no appraisal needed. Winter weather is unpredictable, but your plan doesn't have to be. Visit memberschoicewv.com today to learn more. Loans are subject to credit approval. Additional restrictions may apply.
Frontier is joining Verizon. New Frontier and Verizon customers can get 6 months of 100% fiber internet on us, up to 1 gig, by bundling Verizon Mobile and Frontier Fiber. Plus, get 4 new mobile lines for $20 per line per month on unlimited welcome, with autopay plus taxes and fees. Visit your local Verizon store to switch. $20 per line after $40 monthly promo credits applied for 36 months. Sometimes congestion, unlimited 5G, 4G, LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Eligible new Frontier Fiber plan required. Availability varies. Additional terms apply.
$9.51, worried about paying for college? Metro News is proud to present the 19th annual West Virginia Scholar Program. One high school junior in the state is going to get a full scholarship to West Virginia Wesleyan. It includes room, board, tuition, and fees. For details, go to wvmetronews.com. Click on the Apply Now button. Deadline May 3rd. The 2026 West Virginia Scholar Program presented by Greer Industries and the West Virginia Hospital Association. wvmetronews.com and apply today. Again, May 3rd is the deadline. Coming up on the show tomorrow, friend Millie Snyder will stop by. Also, Amanda McDonald from the West Virginia Symphony is here. That's on tomorrow's show. Later today, Metro News Midday with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barrett and me. More on the death of Jesse Jackson. Reverend Matthew Watts will join us to talk about that. And also, I mentioned earlier, Burke Allen, who, as a high school junior, interviewed Jesse Jackson when he spent the night in Logan. So we're going to talk to Burke about that. State Ag Commissioner Kent Leonhardt will stop by. We'll talk some food to farm stuff. Dave Weekley is here. Jeff Jenkins with the news. And, of course, Open Line West Virginia. Metro News Midday with 13 News and Tonight Live anchor Amanda Barron and me coming up at noon today, brought to you by Salango Law. The world of high school sports in the Kanawha Valley lost a true icon with the passing of former Capitol High coach Roger Jefferson. Fred Persinger is the voice of high school sports in West Virginia. He joins us. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. I'm very, very honored. I don't think I've ever shared a studio with Dale Cooper.
Okay. Dale Cooper. You're talking about football star extraordinaire Dale Cooper. Played for Roger Jefferson.
Yeah, that's obviously a joke, but it is a real honor to
you're a bigger
to be
football star than I was because I didn't play. So there you go.
I have the unique perspective of having observed Coach Jay on the sidelines for years, instead of from the field. So yeah, I guess that's my perspective on it.
All right, Brad, talk about the first time you met Roger Jefferson.
The first time I did, of course, I think most people know I did Beckley football and basketball for a long time, and during those years that Roger was the head coach at Capitol, that was my first association with him. He became the head coach back in 1989. And was only there for 8 seasons, but every year Beckley would play Capitol. So the one thing you always knew about Roger Jefferson, he was going to have his teams prepared, and they were going to be mean in a good way, in a football way. One of his idols, and you probably know this, one of his idols, Leon McCoy.
Yep.
Leon McCoy was one of the greatest coaches ever. But I put Roger Jefferson certainly for only 8 seasons, but I still would put him definitely in the top 10 of high school football coaches in the state. Roger was mostly a wrestling guy. He did play football at Marshall, but he was inducted into the National Wrestling Hall of Fame. So, but Roger was the kind of guy that, as I was telling you earlier this morning, Dave, no matter where I would see Roger after he left Capitol, after he retired, he would always stop and say, "Hey, Fred, how's it going, man?" Off the field, he was as genuine as anyone I've ever known. On the field, he just wanted to beat you, and his teams were good. He won 3 state championships during those 8 seasons. 95 was his last one. Then he quit in 96 after the 96 season. But, and Dale, you were around him,
Yeah, honestly, there's a lot of things about Roger that, although I wasn't a top-line player at all, but what you said about playing hard and mean, but in a good way, is exactly because there's a difference between, and I've played under some different coaches on different things, and there's a difference between coaches that tell you to get out there and hurt somebody, get out there and you want to make it their worst day in the you have guys that motivate you that way. Jefferson's was much more internalized on that. He wanted you to work very hard, and he wanted you to be as best as you could possibly be within the confines of his system. His system was not complicated. He called the counter trade, the Redskins counter trade that he ran. It was he called it Joker. So it was Joker left, Joker right. That was 90% of the playbook. There was not much else that he ran other than that. You'd have dive off of the center one way or the other. If you needed the short yardage, you might have a couple misdirection play. But the bread and butter of that playbook was Joker left, Joker right. And you practiced it, and he would give you accolades in practice if you did well. If you didn't, then you got called on it. And there was things from a discipline standpoint that I don't even know where football and coaches is today, but like the running the gassers at the end of practice until you're basically throwing up. And frankly, for us bigger guys, he would highlight us, and we would have to do certain athletic feats, and if we failed doing that, that would mean that everybody would have to run. Like, he would kind of put us in, and I think that today that maybe that would be frowned upon a little bit. But you know what? It was done from such a perspective that it didn't feel like anything except for trying to be better at what you were doing. Right. And I never felt there was anything other than that there. And although I was not a good football player, I felt like playing on that team for as many years as I did really, I mean, my desire for loving defensive football and running the football comes from my time at Capital, more or less.
And while he kept his offense, as Dale is saying, simple, his bread and butter was his defense.
Oh, yeah.
And his defense, particularly, he played that middle linebacker. And one of the plays I know that he used against Beckley was first play on defense, the middle linebacker jumped offsides and hit the. At the time, you could play over the center. He would hit that center. I remember he hitting Beckley's center one year and knocking him 5 yards back. And the guy that was doing color for me said, "Oh, that was a mistake." And I said, No, not a mistake. He just set the tone because he wanted you to play tough.
If I'm not mistaken, Fred, you would probably know this better than me from an observer standpoint, but I think he did that same thing with Todd Robinson.
Todd Robinson would
blow up that center, sometimes drop offside, and he was the strongest, fastest guy on the field, and he would send shivers down your spine.
One of the better linebackers in high school I can ever remember, Todd Robinson, and he put Beckley's center 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
In the concession stand.
It was time to go home. That's what.
I was talking to Speedy Bevins earlier in the morning, and Speedy and I were talking about Roger Jefferson, and he was talking about, as a broadcaster, when Speedy and the late Bob Wisner would come up to call Logan and Capital games, he said, about how gracious that the coach was to them, but as Speedy said, in that Speedy style, he said, well, you don't have a lot of stress when you're up 50-0 at the half, as they normally were over Logan, back in the day. So you're going to be in a better mood about things. But he talked about
Logan wasn't alone though.
Well, yeah, but that goes along kind of, Fred, with what you said about how just general. And I didn't know the gentleman at all; just knew what I read and what I heard on the radio. That what a genuine, just a good person he was.
He was indeed. Loved his wife Carol, his 2 daughters. He had 3 grandchildren. I mean, just one of those guys that you didn't like him because he wasn't your head coach.
Right?
I mean, I think for just 8 seasons is all he was there at Capital.
What did he do after he retired? What did he do primarily? What kept him?
I lost track. I lost track.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I would see him. Like I'd say at state tournament in basketball, I would see him. But I lost track after football, and I kept on. I was at Beckley still 6 years after that, after he left. So,
well, guys, I appreciate both of you for jumping in here today. Fred, the voice of high school sports in West Virginia, and longtime Capital High standout. He was standing out by the bench.
That's right.
Cooper. But hey, like I said, you played the game. I didn't. So you're one up on me.
You were a member of the team, and he made you feel that way.
That's right.
That's all that matters. And you took a lot of lessons from what I'm gathering. You took a lot of lessons that have absolutely nothing to do with football that you use today. But Anthony and I are not going to run gassers, just so you know. All right.
Me either.
All right. Brad Persinger and Dale Cooper, appreciate you both being here. Coming up on the show tomorrow, Millie Snyder will stop by, and Amanda McDonald from the West Virginia Symphony. Meadows and Wilson are live at the Capitol coming up at 10:06. Metro News Talk Line. I'll see you later today on midday. Till then, have fun and love somebody.
WCHS AM 96.5 FM Charleston, 104.5 Cross Lanes, a WVRC media station. We're proud to live here too.